I just realized that I've only been streaming and I haven't been recording, so this is a little bit tragic. Oh well.
Medium well. Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
I personally love a good old medium rare steak.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers.
So we've eaten twice already with friends. Do Dendro characters get offended when a vegan eats plants? I don't think so. I doubt it. I don't think so. I feel like it would be the other way around. I feel like a Dendro character would spawn a plant so they can eat it. That's a good utility of a vision. Good utility use of a vision.
I ate a lot too. Here comes the food coma.
If you're tired, then go rest. You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up. Tonight I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Wait, Lightning also messaged me. Hold up. I'm just gonna say hello. I'm just gonna say hello with a few exclamation marks and just not say anything else. All right. Good night, Kale.
Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Oh, don't forget this.
Oh,
The staff of the Scarlet Saints.
why did they flashbang me?
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful weapon. Try it.
Facts. It is a very strong
I
weapon.
can lift that thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want?
Ah, stop flashbanging me.
Sure, we'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
Hell yeah. That's not the dull blade. What?
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. But right now, it's time to rest. Sleep well and sweet.
Guys, if lightning shows up, you don't say anything. Do not say anything. Ah, yes. Beautiful Cyno story quest.
I think they should all be here.
Kave.
Traveler, Paimon, are you in there?
Hey!
Come outside for a sec.
It's my boy! It's Alhaitham! Me and the homies love Alhaitham.
Look at this.
You're at the community center right now and talking about a Claymore domain, but I don't know where that is. The Claymore domain is in the desert between Liyue and Sumeru. And as far as hints go, that is all I can really tell you, because I don't know how to explain more specifically where that is. But if you were to walk from Sumeru to Liyue, the Claymore domain would be in between them, so.
What's this sword doing here? Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
I love how they do this picture cutscene. That's pretty cool. They don't have the budget to do a full cutscene, but they just do like a picture. That's nice.
Evidently.
Huh? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this? Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah!
I'm going back to sleep. Agreed. I would too.
Ave, what are you doing here? It's the middle of the night.
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation in our hands.
It better be serious, considering what time it is.
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Can I snooze in? SMP devs should add Paimon as a good on. Paimon does exist in the game, though I think it might be just an admin thing.
And since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform you.
What about Cyno? Where is he right now?
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning.
My computer's on the struggle bus right now for zero reason. We are not arriving. That is not a vibe. That is not a vibe.
Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed them. Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup of tea.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are. And so are the fruits.
No, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What would...
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening, and I went to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for Cyno, Tainari, Kale, and the Traveler in Paimon. Anyway, I got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
In this? What is this? What does Al Hatham know? Oh god.
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million more.
I'm glad these two guys are friends. They're more friends than like annoying roommates to each other.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The sages are probably dealing with the case by now.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it.
Is Al Hatham still the lead? Is like the head sage of the academia? Or did he pass on the role already? I don't remember. I don't think he passed on the role.
Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper had this beautiful pattern on it that I've never seen before. It really caught my eye. Give me a sec. I'll sketch it out for you.
Oh god, Al Hatham knows something. Oh no, this is not gonna be good. Why is there a giant Genshin SMP logo in the ocean between Liyue and Sumer? Because Lightning built that, and you can see it on the map, and it looks really cool. Check DMs real quick. I can't figure out what to do for the roof. I don't know. See what you got. I think some stairs are pretty good roofs. You can make some pretty cool designs with it. Make some windows, some cool attic stuff.
See what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before. God knows where the culprit got them.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
What?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palaces. And the crisscrossing mirror in here. I recognize that too.
Yeah, with Minecraft building, you kind of just had to explore some stuff. I had a revelation. So you know the castle I was trying to build? I was trying to get a good texture, like good block palette to make the castle out of, so it's not plain. And then I realized, I should not worry about that. My skill with building is more about like 3D textures, layers, rather than the block palette that I'm using. So I think I'm gonna just make the wall out of a plain texture and then add layers to it to make it look more depth and make it look better, because that's what I'm good at.
It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem, one that hasn't been used in a very long time.
Whose emblem is it?
It's the emblem of the Temple of Silence.
Interesting. So what does that mean for us?
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right. So we went looking for you. This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tainari, so Gandharvagir was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that we'd gone camping.
I would just restart your computer at that point.
Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
Is everything
That is weird.
Give me a second.
I have no idea.
Let me get Kale.
Is Kale still EP? A little bit, yes.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia. Theoretically, it's responsible for the custody and disposal of information and documents not fit for public dissemination.
I just wanted to draw. I don't know why your computer is having a skill issue, but I'm sorry.
At least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshra and the greatest of all sages. By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected with the desert folk.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
It's possible. The real question is, why? My guess is they're covering something up.
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, so he did resign. Interesting.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
If you're asking me whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an academia student to Cyrus?
Perhaps it wasn't meant for Cyrus.
The student's only 16 and doesn't have any family ties to the desert. So where could he have seen that emblem or gotten the paper?
Oh no. That sounds like quite the situation you've gotten yourself into.
You said you ran into Cyno, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told us?
Yep. He ran off as soon as he heard what we said.
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably halfway through solving the case by now. Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this hour of the night, Cyno will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good. It's sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office. You can ask him to tell you what he knows. The more information we have, the better prepared we'll be for whatever happens there.
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence, the emblem has to be part of a bigger conspiracy.
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them to keep an eye out for Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me. We'll go after Cyno.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Alright.
Let's go look for him there.
Let's go check it out. Let's see.
Here we are. This is the place.
Huh, we might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zahahadi!
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness, whatever is going on tonight?
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's already been here.
I lost my 50-50 gold to a book a while ago. Is this on Star Rail or is this in Genshin? Oh my god, my computer can't. I cannot run. I might be toast unless I'm matching. I think it's time to take your computer into the repair shop.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all.
Genshin, I'm very sorry. Unless you wanted the book. I mean, Skyward Atlas, not a bad book. And the other one, what was the other one too? It's I don't remember. I have Skyward Atlas. It's not that bad, but it's not that great either.
And I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after that. He never did explain what this was all about. How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Ouch. I'm very sorry.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and he looked lost in thought. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Cyno hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Corps of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
That looks pretty good. Not... I think the design of it looks good. I don't know about the color. I'm not sure. Because you have... What? Some dark... What is that? Is that spruce that you're using for the walls? Or is that normal oak that's just really dark to see? How does one send bits? You can't, because I'm not affiliate, so...
As a former sage,
So you have spruce for the walls, you have oak, and I'm assuming that's dark oak for the roof. That's like
Cyno
3
so insisted
dark
that he
blocks
report the
that,
matter
like,
to the authorities.
are kind of spread
I was
everywhere.
there while they were going back and forth over it.
I don't know. I think, like, build-wise, it looks fine. Yeah, the oak looks too bright compared to the dark roof. That's what it is. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying to go with.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in? Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you. He wrote it when he came by earlier. He realized you might come looking for him.
Thank you.
What does it say?
Hello there, Ghost Forsaken. Thank you for the follow. I'm currently playing some Genshin Impact and doing Cyno story quest. My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I asked the intercept and accept I act alone in this stage. Don't come after me. Guys, we're gonna go after him.
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
Why did you say that? I just read it out and now it looks stupid.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia and regroup.
Alright, here we go. Does arguing count towards being a dick? It depends on what you're arguing about. It kind of depends on the topic and, like, what's your take? Just a person? Are you arguing about a person? Your wife snores. I'm sorry to hear that. If it keeps you up at night, perhaps.
You're here? I thought you were going after... Ah, I guess you lost their trail.
I was until I got banned for arguing. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, it's okay to argue with people. If you're like arguing constantly, I guess that's also okay. It kind of like depends on the person that you're arguing with and why you're arguing in the first place. Arguments are are nice. Having an argument could be okay. It could be very enlightening for both sides, depending on what you're talking about.
We went to Cyrus's house.
But if you're arguing for the sake of arguing, then yeah, that's
Cyno
probably
got there before
being
us,
kind of a
but
dick.
He was long gone by the time we arrived.
He didn't say where he was going?
No, he left us a letter and told us not to go after him.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Cyno. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this time.
You got all that? I barely saw that.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the only one with a record of the
Yeah, that's
motif.
pretty good.
Meanwhile, Arov managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business as part of a merchant caravan. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write the letter.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
Okay, so the start was that dude was saying bad stuff for a person that wasn't even true. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean that's not true? You are lying. And then I got banned, and the dude I was arguing with is the same person that posts gross stuff. I don't know if I can mention that here. I mean, hey Demi, what's up? In a case like that, I feel like calling someone out for lying just kind of blatantly like that, you could kind of piss people off. The approach I would kind of take is like, do you have any proof to your side of the story? Because I have a different point of view. Like, I got some different evidence that's saying otherwise. And then also, like, also, if I'm assuming that person had like admin powers or something, so that's kind of like an abuse of admin powers. I'm much calmer than you're a much calmer man than I am. Play me in a PvP game and we'll see how that changes. There's a reason why I don't play PvP games that often anymore.
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Core of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia. But, as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish. The Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia and ended the partnership. They retreated back to the desert about 400 years ago.
If there is a build made for everyone, is it possible to have admins or mods put items in if needed, like command blocks? Yes. There are some admin builds on the server that do contain command blocks. As a player on the server, I know I left some admin stuff in the chest because I wanted to play survival for a little bit and I kind of forgot about it. And then Mikasa found it, so that's why Mikasa has a lot of admin stuff. Yeah, I need to be more responsible with stuff. And then in season 3, I plan on being a lot more responsible with things because I'm probably going to de-op myself, and I'm not really going to do that much. So, I mean, look, there's gonna be other people with admin items, and I'll probably have some admin items too. So you probably can get some stuff. You should totally give me some lol. Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru, sequestering and guarding any wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they set up a dummy organization of their own to conceal the truth.
Not only that, but they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of impressive. Also kind of smart.
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries ago?
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Cyno. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Cyno had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus...
I have to go after him.
Really? Are you sure that's a good idea with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler in Paimon.
He has a look to him, and if you know what I'm talking about, then you know.
Several independent eyewitnesses have reported seeing Cyrus and Mahamatra Cyno leaving the city at different times. Both were heading in the direction of Caravan Rebat. I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Core of 30 in this case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Alhaitham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy. I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia's perspective. Now is the time for action.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation might be more complicated than we thought. I think
we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's fallen into their hands, and... Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely.
Need our help? Whatever you need, we got.
Really? Wonderful. Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Al-Haytham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana. Tainari, you're planning to go into the desert.
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay.
Well, if you're sure.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Yes. Nerd emoji. Also, hi, I see. How you doing? Glad you can join us.
Will do. Let's go, Tainari. Hopefully we can catch up with Cyno before it's too late.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already. But we still have a shot. Let's take it.
Do I have an account on Europe? Unfortunately, I do not. Alright, it's time to go to the desert.
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Hold on. Look over there.
Is that Dia?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone? I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day, but...
It's not my first time.
Cyno.
We found
If
you.
you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
We're meeting
Didn't I
everyone
tell you
today,
not to
aren't we?
come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
Sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing them all the way out to Caravan Rebot. But why so coy today, huh?
I'm
You
not
only
familiar
gave
with
us
that
his
mod. If you
age
can
and
link it to me, I'll take a look at it.
Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
You're looking well. Glad to see it.
Yeah, we're running into everyone in this story quest.
Candace and I came to Caravan Rebot on business. We ran into Cyno as he was asking about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies. That's gotta be one heck of a story.
Cyno, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case. But let us know how we can support you. We're here to help however you need. The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find...
No, it's not that simple. If I'm right, he'll be doing everything he can to avoid us.
We spoke with Zaha Hadid. From what she said, it's pretty clear that he wants to try and solve this on his own. It won't be easy trying to find him in the desert when he's deliberately trying to cover his tracks.
Sounds like this is far more complex than we imagined.
Still, if he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past our village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
Thank you. I took a look at this later.
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way to repay you.
Ah, come on. No need to get all serious. Just buy a round of drinks next time we're all in the city or something.
That's a deal.
All right, so, you all set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
All right, then we'll leave you to it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, we'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
All right. Time to go to the desert. Sent me the finished roof. W. That looks pretty good.
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up. So, after you left the campsite, we had a longer talk.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do. I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power. Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence.
I thought it was a vision.
Due to my unique constitution, I was put through a number of trials in the desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, and he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I don't know if we would have connected the dots and realized there was more to this case than mere extortion. I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh, and for Alhaitham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any qualms about you reporting it. Oh, maybe his connection to the Temple of Silence goes even deeper than yours.
I suspect so too. Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and the concept of spirit indwelling, he avoids going into any depth.
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't you, now that we've caught up with you, you're stuck with us for the rest of the way.
I am aware. And I have accepted it. Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route. So, I might as well accept that you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not. So the best option now is to try to look out for each other. Ha!
Fair enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Hello.
Mahamat.
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out.
A man matching that description passed by Aru village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his sumpter beast. Then he was on his way.
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. He said he was headed somewhere near an oasis, but he didn't mention which one. Do you have a map? I can mark out the direction he was heading and the best routes to any nearby.
I have one.
Great. There you go.
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
You've got a really good memory.
You're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
Let's check this out.
Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
The
Should be.
Tethos.
I'll go.
No. I'll do it.
Huh? Why can't Cyno go talk to them?
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress,
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly man who's gone missing around these parts. Any chance I could ask you a
You're
couple
going to
of
bed?
questions?
Alright, good night. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you around.
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if you've seen him. Let me give you the details.
So, a silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
Uh-oh.
Your friend over there stands out a lot, too. Hey, aren't you Cyno, the General Mahamatra?
yes, that's me.
You don't seem surprised that I recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing.
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Oh god, nothing ever good happens whenever someone says I got a bad feeling about this.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking for help. Do you want it or not?
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Your henchmen don't look like much, but something tells me they put up a better fight than most mercenaries.
Hey, hear that, guys? You're my henchmen now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just cut to the chase already. I'm running out of patience.
All right. Come with me. All of you. Don't you want to find your friend? A silver-haired, long-robed, culture type with thoughtful eyes? Sounds like there's a whole other side to Cyrus.
So you know where he is.
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
Interesting. The mystery continues. Oh, they're going fast. Alright, let's go. Isn't the Dendro Cube boss somewhere around here?
And
What? Where are you looking? There's nothing here.
please, step back.
Whoa, something's coming
Oh,
out of the ground!
what? A hidden domain.
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden?
Wait, so... Hold on, who are...
Is this?
All good questions.
Why are there so many people in your house? That is a good question.
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert, especially not hidden right next to an oasis. Ooh, Paimon's scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do Do you think this is the guy Rocco met?
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't done any.
Me too. Hope I haven't done anything to incur your wrath.
Very mysterious. Are there any chests in here? I would love there to be a chest somewhere. A library?
All right. You can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended?
They can't have been at the Oasis by chance. They were waiting for us.
That's not good.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Don't worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but
Sethos.
I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to.
Yep. I mean, Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood...
He's right.
It's an interesting space.
Hey, Seth.
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. Nope. Not once.
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't mean to click there.
Really?
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place. Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing... Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some ease. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large...
So you framed Cyrus for...
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in it. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor... All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. And it was his own choice to take the bait. What kind of question is that?
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is...
I've lived in the desert my whole life.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like...
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
That's it. Interesting. So the story continues about this new Sethos character.
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the professor is safe and
Ah, here he is. Grandfather, the person you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos.
That is an impressive throne.
Greetings, one and all. I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience. Bring him.
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of great importance to us. We had to find a way to bring... Cyrus owes me his life. And to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of gratitude. I let him go a long time ago. But now, the time has...
Wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me. Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us two old men. You're all too young to get involved.
So that's why you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come here from the beginning. You only left in such a hurry to try and throw us off your trail.
Some things in life catch up with you, no matter what you do. You shouldn't have come. That alone brought the others.
Cyno didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did. To rescue you. We'd appreciate you telling us the truth. Otherwise, it seems a little unfair on everyone who had to stay behind.
My secrets are secret for good reason. Bringing them to light can only lead to misfortune.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to speak of your past deeds to the students you nurtured as if they were your own children. You recognized our emblem because for many years you lived among us. Indeed, you all but became one of us. You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt convicted you. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission to revive the might of Hermanubis, to bring new hope, but then you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions, and then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power. We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
Jeez, okay then.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
They're talking about Cyno.
Does he mean...
Professor, anything to say?
The moon is right. I came here once before. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together. It was a great, daring plan, one shrouded in secrecy. The Temple of Silence had been bereft of Hermanubis for too long. The strength of its faith and its warriors were waning. Moon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Herbanubis, into the bodies of suitable vessels. If the experiment was successful, the spirit of Hermanubis would then dwell within the vessel. Many believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grant. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents agreed to release him into our custody in exchange for a small fortune. These two children were our...
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments from Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony and instructed to approach the Ba fragments, whose power had been amplified. If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment: resonance, implantation, and recovery and observation. The resonance stage went quite smoothly for both candidates. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time? This would allow us to monitor the results after the first round and adjust our plan accordingly. Or alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time and compare their effects. But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate and be gone. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power, we implanted each of them with a single...
Ultimately, I ended the experiment and left, taking one of the children with me.
Such as peak stream. Nothing's really happening right now. I mean, this is actually a pretty decent story. I don't know how people feel about Genshin character story quests. This is actually pretty good. I'm pretty into it. You can tell because I'm being quiet and I'm really paying attention to what's happening. I'm gonna play some Star Rail probably later. I really want to play Star Rail today, and then maybe Wuthering Waves another day. But we'll see.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Cyno. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. Now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it. You're an old man now anyway, but you cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is the General Mahamatra. Your actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academy.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You were so young then, when we all got... You and he, Sethos. You were our final hope.
You'd like me to return my power?
As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That power is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods. You cannot take what they have...
You are wrong. Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only one. My child, Sethos, has the same gift as he.
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my foolishness all those years ago that the temple's glory has waned. And now I must take responsibility for the decision I made back then.
So what you're saying is, the power of one Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Sethos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear. And your objections mean little, given that you turned your back on us long ago.
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take. You have to understand.
I know. But if this is a question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then there is nothing to debate.
Sorry to interrupt, but in my view, there are a number of contentions here that still need addressing. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then we are at an impasse. I find it hard to believe that you went to all this effort without planning for that possibility. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table. Then we can have a discussion.
Wait, those ears. So, we have a descendant of the Valukashuna in our midst.
What? You just noticed him? He's been standing next to him the entire time.
Fate smiles upon us after all. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we will...
You good, bro?
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
Oh, there you go.
Take our leader back to his room. Grandfather, I know what... I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours. Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated... But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you yours.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his young... I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. You've been to the city yourself. Things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the academia once more?
Technically, that would solve all problems.
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Tainari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more to your plan than this. All you and Ba Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. I am the one who has a choice to make. And that's how it was always going to. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor.
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
That works. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting him back now.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
All right, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Cyno. If you need any help working things out, just come and find us.
All right, so that was a lot of information. My commissions are done though, so yay. Yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. I don't have to wait very long. Yeah, let's see what happens.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy, though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child. I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only bits and pieces. I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Hermanubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate. The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Hermanubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshipper...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
I don't know. This is a really difficult. Like, okay, so you got two parties, right? Neither of which are technically in the wrong, although neither of which are willing to accept like a real solution. So you're just kind of at a stalemate here.
No, I have no intention of returning it. I need this power to protect Sumeru. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Death. So I will challenge them head on, and win the right to wield this power for myself, fair and square.
Interesting.
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Silence was originally founded by the ruling elite of the day. Traditionally, such organizations are bound by a strict and ancient code of nobility. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring their tribal bonds, or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse. That's how we win this.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about medicine and would like to take a look at his grandfather's condition.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Sethos, let's talk.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training, so I was wondering if you might let me take a look at your
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctor. Follow me. Keep your voices down.
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy burden of work and now by the effects of old age. Regretfully, I must inform you that based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition,
Yeah. I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here.
you know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited. I accept, Cyno. This all began because of Hermanubis. So let's end it with the rite he himself created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents. He and his two companions proved their mettle by fighting over several days, winning the support of many. That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rites.
Sounds very fit.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep.
3 against 3. Sounds good.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Cyno, both of us must put our Ba fragment on the line.
BRB,
The winner
you're welcome to come and
takes
go
them
as you
both.
please.
Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward.
None needed. We're on the same page. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus and consider this past dispute resolved.
Adjusting my chair. I'm sitting in a very awkward position.
If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal. Then let's meet at the ceremonial hall tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock.
All right, let's do this.
Well, after how that went, there's definitely...
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away.
You have to win. You need this power.
yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child.
Both as General Mahamatra. Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and...
Exactly.
The Traveler and I will never lose.
And neither. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudice has pushed people apart, but there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
All right, it's time. The duel. This is a long ass story quest. Oh, jeez. All right.
gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect, representing the Temple of Silence, the Defender.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decisions.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
This isn't a 3v3. This is a 3v1. This isn't fair.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists. Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor is proclaimed.
Huh? Are you sure?
Let's go. Let's do this.
I agree. He's very strong. Sending him out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
I think Tanari should go first, and I should go second, but
So have
I
we.
don't know. Alright, who are we fighting?
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
I'm using Dendro. Oh no. Actually, well, I think Dendro might be the best in this. I don't know. Do I get to use elemental powers?
Don't
I guess we'll
forget
see.
safety first. Hey, you there!
What?
You better play nice with them, or Paimon will make you regret it.
A little bit too much chatter from the audience over there.
Ooh, ow. That kind of hurt. There's one. Why are your defenders mushrooms?
Scatter!
Got him.
A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second bout to please step forward. When you're both ready, you may begin.
Let's begin.
Let's do this.
Watch out!
Why are they mechanisms? Alright. I don't know how to use Tanari, so.
For the bout, so we should be fine.
Uh oh. Ooh, I really don't know how to use Tanari, so.
Keep up. I hear everything.
Boom. That was really strong. Okay, they've both gone invisible now. Ow. Okay, there's one. Boom, let's go. 2 for 2.
Thus ends the second bout. We will now move to the third bout. Duelists, please.
I'm ready.
So am I.
This is the final stage of the rite. I remind you both that the terms you agreed upon in advance are binding. When you're both ready,
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis, grandson of Bamun, the leader of the Temple of Silence. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope, but to embark on a brave new experiment so that we might prevail. We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power, longing to see his spirit and his light descend upon us. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power.
W
I am
speech.
Cyno, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spontamod. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation.
W speech.
And you. I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Everyone, old and young, fit and frail. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his hands. I understand his beliefs well, and I know what he expects of me. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest points in the city, gazing down at the streets below. Then I thought of you, Cyno. You and I both wield the same power, but the lives we lead could not be more different. Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. Might, glory, and one of many other secrets that have yet to be revealed. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
This is the most epic music to go behind the
More
speech.
than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us, shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels, and yet we are more besides. So show me your answer, Cyno. Show me I can be more than my faith, more than the power I wield. Show me the person I can become. Bring it on!
Oh, finally, the epic cutscene I've been waiting for.
That's all you've got? What happened is searching for your answer. Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
I give his glory to you.
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tule-Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tule-Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule-Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule-Tula Tynarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule-Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
So does this mean Cyno gets a buff? Is he gonna be better now? Oh, well, Mom, welcome back. You missed the most, like, peak cutscene of the entire story quest. You'll have to play it for yourself.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
Did he just die? No. Rip.
Grandfather.
Oh. Yes, you did, indeed.
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
I know. I just...
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a...
Yeah, he's been on death's door for a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point. At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanupis fragments. That entitles you to be our new leader.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am ill-suited to be your leader, Sethos. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now. I'm sure Bamoon never meant for anyone but you to be his successor.
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Bamoon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Bamoon as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more.
Yay! Friendship! The power of friendship. Let's go. Guys, I guess the real Cyno story quest was the friends we made along the way. Friendship.
That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe
Friendship.
that things can change for the better here at the temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamoon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person. Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the Academia. But he knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the Academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the Academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the Academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Cyno. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the Temple of Silence for their pursuit of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization, more than any other organization in existence today. In times when you need information that only we can provide, we will be here to support you. But you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates, lest you lead humanity to repeat the same. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Valuka Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Herman. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his familiar. He went on to fight many valiant battles with his Tainarian companions. They always stood by each other, from the founding of the Temple of Silence to the fall of Tuletula. The Tainarians who left Tuletula joined their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group returned to the desert, many of the Tainarians chose to stay and put down roots in the rainforest. In all likelihood, those were your ancestors.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians, but I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Yes, Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my
If it's true that you and your grandfather really planned for everything to turn out this way, then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us, you, me, and Cyrus, we're all just pawns in my grandfather's plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official delegation from the Academia to come and meet you in the I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead. But once things return to normal, please come and visit the rainforest again. You should stay for a few days this time, if we're going to work together. Both sides.
I will. All right. Well, bye for now, everyone. I'll be seeing you.
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Yay! Friendship! Guys, we're all good friends now. Oh wow, this is actually a place that we can go to. Jeez, okay. We're all friends! I have no idea what that says, but friendship. Let's go. Alright, the story quest is almost over. I think. I hope it is. This is a long-ass story quest.
What were you thinking, gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket, You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantic.
Oh, please, will you stop your...
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it?
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that I'm your colleague?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh and blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his power. Okay, look. Fine, I admit it, I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you? What about,
1 month? Try 3.
Inari's master is really laying into Cyrus.
Professor brought this on himself.
Wow, I haven't seen... The last time he chewed...
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation. We can go for dinner afterwards.
Makes sense. I'm in.
Paimon's coming too. Let's go.
Let's go. The third time in one story quest. We get free food. Jesus.
Hey, Kale.
And it's Farzan.
Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on the past few days?
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me? And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
True, Farzan's pretty cool. We've met every single... Okay, we've met a lot of Sumerian characters. I think the only two that we're missing is Layla and Nahida. Those are the only two Sumerian characters that we haven't seen, like the story quest. We've seen everyone.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to...
Oh, and Dory. Yeah, Dory.
You're right.
It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make...
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me the signal. All right. Say, Madam Farzan, I can see you're pretty upset, but, I was just wondering...
Guys, Mikasa got engaged. Congratulations.
Huh? Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Poor Kale getting dragged off like that. Also, check out Farzan acting like some...
Kale, cup.
Huh? What? What do you mean, cup? Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school, and it's become something of a family tradition now.
Oh, that's kind of...
2 people left.
Who are the last two? Oh, wait. Alhaitham and Kaveh? That is true. We should probably go inform them of what's happened. Hello there.
Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in...
We're just reorganizing all the books we used. Look, there's a whole...
There's no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to...
Yes, with your help. We resolved the issue rather swiftly and painlessly. And the outcome was better than we could have hoped.
I see. The Temple of Silence resorted to rather unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for...
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient documents as well. I'd love to go check those out if I ever had the...
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization, and we'll be sure to maintain good relations. Now, as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to treat it...
Yeah, sounds great. Although, after the last few days, I don't know if I can handle another call.
Sure.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of characters today. It's nice catching up with all of our old Sumerian buddies. And some new ones, too.
And then, the Traveler just pounced on their opponent and knocked him right out cold. Then there was Tainari. He put up an amazing fight, too. We ended up winning all 3 bouts. Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been biting my nails off worrying about...
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of detail, but it has livened up...
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him. That's very dignified of you, Cyno.
Of course. Being dignified comes with being a true champion.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before, It was a pretty unique experience.
Yeah, huge place. It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
A mighty
Maybe save
duel.
that one for later, Paimon. Dessert's here.
I think that'll do me for today.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home? We should probably...
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
These guys have become just such great friends.
I should get going as well.
Friendship.
See you all later. Make sure you get some good...
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work process.
Kale's come a long way. She's much more confident at dealing with other people these days.
Everyone's a work in progress. You never stop learning.
Yeah, true.
That was good. It feels like everything's finally wrapped up now. Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax and hang out with good friends after a job well done. And also, those desserts Cyno got, they were really good.
Do you three have anything planned for the rest of the day? If not, would you come somewhere with me? That's a secret for now.
Okay. I think I can guess what you're talking about.
Well, now Paimon's cure.
What? What? This is at the very top of the tree.
Been a while since I last made my...
Oh, look at this place! We're so high up!
Need any help? As you wish.
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up, we can see for miles!
Traveler, turn around.
Whoa.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I only bring my best friends. When I was a student, I used to slip away and climb up here all the time, just to clear my head. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for?
Herobrine is haunting you. Haunt him back. Easy.
Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way. Of course. I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Cyno accidentally dropped a fruit. Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in...
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my fingers again.
Those were good times. I kind of miss the student life.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Cyno doing something like that, but for some strange reason, the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop.
Hmm.
There's somebody there. It's Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on with that.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, you're not supposed to jump down. Be careful.
You're gonna jump scare him. Oh, hi. Guys, we finally got to play as Cyno in his story quest after all the fighting's over.
Oh my days. I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Cyno. Ha, just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebook?
Some old photos?
Can you believe it? This notebook was just sitting in a pile of odds and ends in the sage's office. I must have forgotten to take it with me, and no one's touched it since. I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and just happened to cross it. Well, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this picture. Still a kid.
You look quite young yourself in that one. Ah, it's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else could have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hitty?
And this one. Looks like we're both dozing off.
Oh, cheeky girl. Taking secret photos of us without our...
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they? Hey,
W.
at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. Well, so do you if you feel...
Don't be ridiculous, you old codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with them again. And other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. We all learned so much from one another. You've matured so much over the years, Cyno.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the non-answers you just gave. So, I will do the right thing and keep my mouth shut.
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Lisa strikes again. Just how many did she take?
Look how cute you were when you were little. I remember how well-mannered you were back then, too.
Yeah, and look how serious and professional you used to be.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now you're besting me at those little quips, too.
Don't say that. I still have a lot of respect for you.
That's more like it. Hey, what would you say to meeting up with Lisa again sometime?
I'd like that. Let's find a time and pay her a visit in Mondstadt.
All right, I'll add it to my schedule. Let's go next week. Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to beat Zaha Hadid.
Or you could find a real hobby, Professor.
W story quest. Oh my god, that was a long one. Alright. As story quests go, that wasn't bad. There was a lot of yap in it, like in the beginning and the end, and then the middle part was good, and then yeah, oh my goodness. Okay. Well, those are my commissions done. I'm gonna take a little bit of break, use the bathroom and whatnot, and when I get back, I'm gonna let you guys decide. What do you want to see next? You want to see me play a little bit of Star Rail, or do you want to see me play a little bit of Wuthering Waves? I'm probably not gonna do that much in either, but I am gonna do one tonight. So, yeah, I will be right back. I already see Star Rail in the chat, so BRB.